consequences have begun. When someone walks away from you, there is a moment in life when silence becomes louder than words. A moment when absence starts speaking more clearly than promises ever did. And that moment has arrived now. The person who walked away from you believed they were choosing freedom. They believed they were escaping something heavy, something uncomfortable. They believed leaving you would bring peace. But what they did not understand is this. Every action creates a consequence, and consequences do not arrive immediately. They arrive when the ego has rested and the heart wakes up. That is what is happening now. 1. At first, they felt powerful. When they broke off the relationship, they felt in control. They felt strong. They felt proud. They told themselves they made the right decision. They told others they were fine. They convinced themselves they didn't need you anymore. They enjoyed the quiet victory of walking away while you stayed behind carrying the pain. But this phase never lasts, because power built on avoidance always collapses. 2. The silence that once felt peaceful begins to feel empty. At first, silence felt like relief to them. No explanations, no accountability, no emotional responsibility. But now the silence has changed. It no longer feels peaceful, feels hollow. They notice moments where they instinctively reach for their phone, and then remember they can't reach you anymore. They notice that no one listens the way you did. No one understands their moods the way you did. No one sees through their defenses the way you did. And that realization hurts. 3. Regret doesn't come loud, it comes quiet. Regret does not announce itself dramatically. It arrives in small, uncomfortable moments. When they laugh with others but feel disconnected. When they succeed but have no one meaningful to share it with. When they feel low and realize the one person who would have stayed is gone. They start replaying memories they once dismissed. Your patience, your loyalty, your consistency, things they took for granted now feel rare. 4. Their new freedom exposes old emptiness. They thought leaving you would open doors, more options, more excitement, more validation, but instead it exposed something deeper. The same emotional patterns followed them, the same restlessness, the same dissatisfaction, because the problem was never the relationship. It was their inability to face themselves. You were not the cage, you were the mirror, and mirrors are uncomfortable for people who don't want to grow. 5. They begin to compare even if they deny it. Whether they admit it or not, they compare everyone to you now. Not just romantically, but emotionally. They compare how safe they felt, how accepted they were, how seen they were, and the truth becomes unavoidable. What they lost was not replaceable. Connections like yours don't appear often, and once broken, they rarely return in the same form. 6. Guilt begins to surface. Guilt is a heavy emotion, and they are beginning to feel it, not because they missed the relationship, but because they realize how deeply they hurt someone who loved them genuinely. They remember your silence after trying, your exhaustion, your final acceptance. They realize you didn't leave out of pride. You left because you were forced to protect your heart. That realization weighs on them. 7. Meanwhile, you are changing, and here is the part they did not expect. You did not collapse forever. You did not beg endlessly. You did not stay broken. You healed quietly. You learned to sit with your pain. You learned to choose yourself. You learned to stop explaining your worth. Your energy shifted, and people always feel that shift, even from a distance. 8. The dynamic has reversed. Once, you were the one questioning yourself, wondering what you did wrong, wondering why you weren't enough. Now, those questions belong to them. They wonder why you stopped reaching out, why you seem calmer, why your absence feels heavier than your presence ever did. Because now they are feeling the loss fully. 9. Consequences are not punishment, they are lessons. What they are experiencing is not karma in the dramatic sense. It is emotional consequence. They are learning what happens when you walk away from sincerity, when you choose ego over connection, when you underestimate someone who loved you deeply. And these lessons hurt, but they are necessary. 10. They may want to return, but timing matters. At some point, they may feel the urge to reach out. Not always with words, but with thoughts, dreams, and emotional pull. But understand this: by the time they truly realize your value, you may no longer be the same person who waited. Healing changes standards. Growth changes tolerance. And love, once wounded deeply, does not reopen easily. 11. Your role was never to chase, it was to transform. You were never meant to beg someone to choose you. You were meant to awaken something within them. Sometimes that awakening happens only after loss. And sometimes the lesson is learned too late. That is not your failure. That is their journey. 12. Peace comes when you stop needing validation. You no longer need them to regret. You no longer need an apology to move forward. You no longer need closure from someone who couldn't offer commitment. Your closure came the moment you chose self-respect. And that is power. 13. What you lost was a person, what they lost was a home. You lost someone who couldn't meet you emotionally. They lost someone who loved them fully. The difference matters, and time will reveal it clearly. 14. Trust the process you cannot see yet. Right now, it may not feel fair. It may still hurt in quiet moments. But understand this: life has a way of balancing emotional scales, not through revenge, but through awareness. And awareness is the heaviest consequence of all. 15. Final truth. The consequences have begun, not because you wished harm, but because truth cannot be avoided forever. And while they face what they lost, you are stepping into who you were always meant to become. Calm, grounded, unshakable. And that is the real ending. Welcome to Psychology Fact. If you're curious about the hidden truths of the mind and heart, make sure to subscribe and turn on the bell icon, so you never miss a fact that could change the way you see life.